All right, so I was literally in my slumber, okay? I was just chilling, I was relaxed, I was getting ready to sit back, watch some One Piece. I got like 1,000 episodes left. I'm only on episode like 80 something, okay? I'm way behind. I even got my anime hoodie on. I'm chilling. And I look at my phone, and I'm a little behind, but I see Malaki Branham was trending, and I instantly said, I have to talk about this.
I want some rest.
Does Malaki Branham have a burner? Well, I think so. So before we talk about this, I definitely have a take on it. If you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com. I think I have about 6 orders that I'm catching up on. So first come, first serve. So if you guys want to support, please head on over to the link in the description or become a patron or YouTube member. That's only $2 per month. If you don't want to do any of that, okay, just like this video, subscribe. That will mean the world to me. But let me ask you something. Can you do one thing for me? Just type below in the comments, Mr. Freeze, okay? Just type Mr. Freeze. That's all I need you to do. That actually really helps the algorithm having as many comments as possible. So Mr. Freeze, just comment that below. All right, so let's take a look at this. Oh boy, good God. All right, so Malaki Branham, he may have a burner, guys. There's this account called Mr. Freeze, and he has been responding to a lot of criticism going towards Malaki Branham's way. Now, before we get into the controversy there, because it is controversial, let's go ahead and play devil's advocate. So big shout out to Ty Yeager. I love Ty Yeager and all of his takes. And Ty Yeager had something to say about the whole situation, saying that he actually doesn't believe that it's Malaki Branham's burner. And he makes a good case for it. It says, I doubt that's actually Malaki Branham's burner. I honestly think it's a family member, but I don't see it being him. The big giveaway is the players don't have time to scroll or tweet during halftime, let alone as part of the Spurs locker room. We live in a world of stan accounts, accounts that won't stop railing against a certain player. Spurs Twitter should be aware of who I'm talking about. I know who you're talking about, and much more. It shouldn't be a surprise to see an account defend a player religiously, especially when family and friends exist. But it's not always a player's burner. Again, I think this could very well be a family member or a friend who just wants to back up their guy. The timing of tweets during halftime and the trash talking teammates tell me it's not him. Now, with that being said, I do agree that this could be a family member or a close friend, but there's a few things that's kind of a giveaway for me that makes me believe that it probably could be Malaki. Now, like I said, I don't know 100%, but it feels like it could be him. So one thing that Ty brought up is that players don't have time to tweet during halftime. Now he's saying especially in Spurs locker room. Maybe Ty would know more than me on this, but I've seen players, at least in other organizations, tweet during halftime. I don't know how a Spurs locker, I'm not even going to act like and pretend like I know. I don't know how it works, but that alone is a little suspicious. Why would it just be tweeting out during halftime? Why wouldn't it just be during the game if it's just some random account just having his back on it? I don't know. That it's a little strange. But there's a few other giveaways. Now, I don't think Malaki Branham is better than this, okay? Than to make a burner account or above any of it to defend himself, because he's been very open in defending himself in the past. As you guys remember, we did a video on this before, and this was a fan named Quan, and he criticized them heavily. I don't know if he still does, so I'm not going to act like I know. But he was talking really reckless about Malaki. Heavy criticism, like to the point where he was saying things like he shouldn't be on the same court as Victor Wembanyama. Really out there. Malaki did not take kind to it, and this is how he responded. He said, "You follow me just to talk crazy. Plus, you can't even spell my name right. Big fan of your work." Now, I couldn't take this to court, okay? I don't think I would be able to take this to court, all right? The judge might say, no, we're not using this. But the way that Malaki Branham tweets and the way in which he DM'd Quan is very similar to these responses. As you can see, all lowercase, okay? It'll be very similar to looking at a post and every single word is uppercase. That will be very reminiscent of DeJounte, so we would just instantly say DeJounte. So I'm kind of quick to say maybe this potentially could be Malaki. So let's go ahead and see some of the things he responded to. And there's one in which that's very controversial, but we'll get into that in a minute. So Jay says, and I like Jay. I follow Jay, actually. Oh, you can see I'm following Jay right here. A couple plays earlier, he was running wide open down the middle of the court on a 3-2 fast break, and Malaki Branham took a contested layup and missed. LMAO. And you can see Mr. Freeze says here, you at home laughing, broke bum with a clown emoji. And then you can also see this one. I have been saying for as long as Spurs keep playing guys like Malaki Branham, they are going to have to get used to long losing streaks. Coach Pop just ain't got it anymore. That's ridiculous. And then Mr. Freeze says, you're still broke. And then at Malaki Branham, 1 rebound, you stink like Ish, bro. And then he says, you look like Ish. Bum clown. All right. So I've seen Malaki. I can't back this up because I can't find them, okay? But just try to take my word for it. I've seen Malaki Branham respond to fans on his own account, and it's very similar to this. Also, the whole idea that maybe this is a friend, maybe this is a family member, possibly, I'm going to go ahead and take out the whole idea of this just being some random fan. As Ty brought up, which is fine, like saying that it could be a stan account and these guys, follow these players religiously and they're going to back them up religiously. I'm going to go ahead and take that idea and throw it out the window, because responding, a regular fan is, even if you love the player religiously, responding with this, your rebuttal is broke bum. That's just something that usually just rich people would put in there, not some random fan, or maybe the fan is rich, I don't know, but just putting broke bum, that's not even a really. And then the next one is you're still broke. It's like, really? I don't know, that just seems a little weird. And I have seen Malaki Branham use the clown emoji, which everyone has, but he calls people clowns quite often if they're highly criticizing, and sometimes the criticism goes way too far. But for me personally, just saying broke and that's your response, like, well, you broke, you don't have money, to me that could either be Malaki Branham or maybe is a very close person to him that would say that. But like I've said, that seems like something Malaki would say. Now this is where it gets controversial, okay? This right here, so Quan, actually, who we just talked about, he didn't take too kindly to this Mr. Freeze account. This is back in November, the end of November. And the fact that this Mr. Freeze account is responding to Quan yet again, which this has happened before, it makes me wonder, is that him? As you can see, all lowercase once again. And he says, why did you tweet a photo of my kids from your burner account on November 27th? So he didn't even recognize it, apparently, until now. And he says, you're worried about the wrong thing. Go fill those popcorn orders for your son, or do you need a donation? Once again, alluding to the fact that you're broke. Not okay. Now, if this is Malaki Branham, not okay. Not okay if you're anybody, but this just seems weird, guys. This just seems... Now, let's go ahead and put the icing on the cake. Now, the icing on the cake of this whole thing is that I tried to find this Mr. Freeze account. It's gone. So after this controversy, it's gone. If this was just a fan, then they would be very open in saying, dude, I'm not Malaki Branham's burner. I'm just a fan. Or they would say, laugh at him and call everybody clowns again. I don't know. Like, why would they get rid of their burner account, right? And if all this is for just clout, then they would, this is all the clout you can get in the world. And I doubt, especially how Twitter is nowadays, I highly doubt anybody's coming down on them to get rid of any account. So very strange. And I definitely think that this is not okay. But then again, could I see like a kid doing this, which Malaki Branham is a kid? Yeah, for sure. I could see him doing this. Pretty immature, but like I have no idea. And Malaki too, at least from what we've seen from previous stories about him and what we know of him thus far, he is the type of guy that definitely takes things personal. Like, I think that in the long run, maybe in the future, I think Popovich is going to be really hard on him, probably similar to how he was with Danny Green, because you can kind of set a fire under him and he just go off at any given moment. So I think we're going to see a lot of Malaki getting yelled at in certain games. But this is the type of guy he is. He takes things very personal. he will respond. And if he's told that he can't respond on his own account, I wouldn't be shocked if he had a burner at all. And this is just dead giveaway. And then the idea that he couldn't have done it during halftime. These aren't long responses. These aren't. But this is I read one sentence of what you had to say, and now I'm calling you broke. I mean, it's nothing really here that stands out to me. And I would have thought that, because look, this is an hour, and then he didn't respond until 50 minutes later. And according to what people are saying, this would have been during halftime. And then this was 2 hours ago, and then he responds, an hour and 50 minutes. I don't know. To me, if this was just a religious fan, or if this was just maybe even just a close family member, they'll be on the lookout for these things and responding pretty quickly. It doesn't take long to type out "you're still broke." You don't even have to rebuttal. Like, you don't have to say anything to that. So I don't know, guys. This is not. Is it immature? Yes. But the good news is, and this is the good news. So Ty said that he don't think that it would be him responding to like talking poorly about teammates. I haven't seen, and I could be wrong, but I haven't seen him saying anything about teammates in particular. So I don't know about that part. But from what we're seeing, he's not necessarily saying anything about the organization, saying anything bad about Pop or anything like that. So that's good. Okay. This is literally him just calling fans broke, which, I mean, I guess compared to an NBA player, we're all broke. Who cares? Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I could see a young, rich kid, posting something like that. Now, something else that I wanted to bring up, and I don't think I brought up in this video. So let me go ahead and bring this up, because I talked about this before, and some people said that I didn't know what I was talking about. But I'm very aware of how things usually work when it comes to social media. So we're in the social media age, okay? And I did a video on this about DeJounte Murray basically being very subliminal by liking things, not directly saying it himself, but liking things alluding to him being pissed off with how the Atlanta Hawks are handling his minutes, right? Nothing new. He did the same thing with the Spurs. He did subliminal things, took out point guard out of his bio, unfollowed a bunch of teammates. Lonnie Walker did the same thing, liked a bunch of things about how he should get more minutes. This is nothing new. And the reason why I bring this up is because I think that this is just another clue to the fact that this happens all the time, right? Like, guys, like when I sat back and I said, I really truly do believe that the things that's coming out of the press conferences from our players are legitimate, that they don't have a problem with the organization, that they're only blaming themselves, that they're not pointing fingers. This is the reason why, because in the era of social media and these young guys, they're going to let it be known how they feel, especially people like Malaki Branham. I know that we want to bring out and just throw out, hey, these guys are professionals. They're not going to they're going to say only specific things at press conferences. Yeah, but you're going to be able to hear some type of undertone, and you're going to be able to tell from their social media accounts that something weird is going on or something they have a problem with. And Malaki Branham, the only reason why I am very quick to say, hey, maybe this is him, is because he's shown this before, that he's willing to go out of his way to defend himself. So me personally, if I had to put money on it, all right, they're like, you got to put money. This is funny, by the way. Coach Pop staring at Malaki Branham tomorrow at practice when he randomly calls him Mr. Freeze. Okay, so I do want to say this. I'm going to go ahead and say, if I had to put money on it, that this is his account, that Malaki Branham has a burner account. Not only the fact that it tweets just like him, the fact that the page is gone. I mean, allegedly, if you guys can find it, let me know. But from what I've seen, it's gone. Also, bringing up broke and constantly, that's something that he's done before. And his type of personality is that he takes things pretty personal and he will respond. So all these things mixed in a bag, I'm going to go ahead and go on a whim and say it's Malaki Branham. It being during halftime is strange. That's weird. Like, is it only tweeting? And that's the bad part. I can't go back and see, but is it only tweeting out when he's not playing? Yeah, I'm doing this face right now to that. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. But I definitely wanted to bring it up and give you my 2 cents on it. Is it immature? Yes, very immature. Okay, it's very immature. But he is a kid. All right, he is a kid. But that's not okay. This right here, regardless of how I feel about Quan or anything that this guy tweets out, I don't think that this is okay. This is not cool. You shouldn't do that. Like, no. But at the end of the day, this kid, I think it's Malaki. All right. But good news is it's nothing pertaining to our organization. It's no tweets, at least from what I've seen, saying, man, Malaki needs more minutes. Popovich sucks. And he's liking it and saying, true. None of that. So anyways, I'll get with you guys later. Until next time, man. Bye.